What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope you're all well. Today we've got a full day of eating. I know you guys love a full day of eating. I don't know what it is with YouTube and people watching other people eat food, but apparently it's the best thing ever. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. My calories for the day. So today is a training day. I have two separate calories, a non-training day and a training day. Now the reason why I have less food on a non-training day is probably gonna be for the reason that you think in your head. I'm not training. I have less demand for energy on that non-training day. Therefore, just eat less food. But today is a high demanding energy day. And I've got my food in a little bit higher this week. Come check in from Sunday. We've pushed up food a little bit. So at the moment we're at 300 protein for the day, 600 carb for the day, and 60 fat for the day. So a little bit lower in fat, very high in carbohydrate because we're very glycogen demanding today where we're training. And let's get into it. Meal one. Meal one is gonna be, I generally have a slightly smaller appetite, I should say, in the morning. So I kind of tend to go with a lot of fruit and a shake. So first meal is gonna be 200 grams of grapes, one whole apple, and 70 grams of whey in a shake. So current intra-stack, creatine, EAAs, highly balanced extraction. Josh, why do you have intra? Are you gonna get massive off it? Yes, clinically. No, you're not. Intra-workout, so we actually know that the biggest, so if you take a day, 24 hours, the time when you're gonna have the highest muscle protein breakdown, which is breakdown of muscle, is gonna be where? Give me 5 seconds. Okay, time's up. It's gonna be in the session when you're actually physically breaking down that muscle. There's a little bit of research. Now, this is not gonna be you take into a workout, you're gonna massively increase your ability to gain muscle. That's not gonna be the case, but it may be a marginal gain. Whether it's a 0.001%, if I'm trying to be the best, I'm gonna take that 0.001%. And that's one of these things. Bodybuilding at a high level, I think is a game of marginal gains. And having an intra workout, we know that can actually combine EAAs with a highly balanced carb powder. We know that can actually mitigate some of that muscle protein breakdown and potentially tip that balance in favor of muscle protein synthesis, which is obviously the growth of new muscles, the synthesis of new muscles. So it's not gonna be an intra workout, slams the weight scale down, it's gonna be a little tipple, and we add these little tipples over the day and we maximize our chances. So I go for 50 grams of carb intra, I go for about 30 or 40 grams of protein intra. This is an eating window for me, guys. You know, 40 grams of protein times up. I thought that's 120 calories right there, 160 calories right there. 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, sorry. That's another 200 calories. So it's a good eating window for me. And I just put a creatine in there because it's the time that I remember to take it. So nothing special about the timings. So we just arrived here at Muscleworks Orpington for a pool session with IFBB Pro Joe Brightman. And I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about when I eat before I work out, and then also when I have my pre-workout. So generally speaking, I would have my pre-workout meal about 60 minutes, maybe 90 minutes at a push, but generally about an hour just before I train. Gives it a little bit of time to pass through my digestive system so I'm not feeling it in my stomach. And it gives me enough time to be able to just absorb a little bit of that energy and feel ready for the workout. I will then sip my pre-workout on the way over. It's about a 21-minute drive, so when I get to about 10 minutes out, I like to just sip on it because I know the first 5-10 minutes of the workout are going to be warming up. We know that caffeine and things like nootropics are going to peak within about 20 to 30 minutes of ingestion. So I know if I'm going to have it about 10 minutes before I come in, within about 20 minutes of arriving, everything's peaking, I'm feeling good, everything's flowing, caffeine is going, and we're ready to train. We're going to keep this video about the food today, so this will just be a little edit for you. Hope you enjoy. Let's get after it.
I think it's time to put them in their place. I'ma have to set them straight. You don't know me, you don't know where I'm from, or what I had to do to get this plate. Hey, let me paint a picture. Everybody dissing, acting like it wasn't cool to listen. Now look at me. I say now look at me. Let me get it started. Yo, I'm tired of the weak shit. Listen here, I end your whole career if you sneak this, peep this. People ain't understand I'm a prodigy. Now they saying you gotta see, but I ain't really fucking with apologies. Now I got people calling me, talking about what they remember when. Well, you don't fuck with me no more, man? Get the fuck out my face.
So we're here for our post-workout meal. We have the biggest carbohydrate portion of the whole day in this meal. Now the reason why we have the biggest portion of carbohydrates post-workout is because during our workout we have an upregulation of a glucose transporter, which obviously does exactly what it says on the tin. GULT4 GLUT4 upregulates, which allows more transportation of carbohydrates post-workout. So therefore we just feed that demand. We've created a glycogen deficit, we've created a glycogen demand. We're now just going to feed it the biggest that we can. I have 600 carbs to eat, so really I can take this meal to wherever I want. Probably going to end up around about 200 carb. You guys are going to hate me for this. I can already feel it. I can already feel the hate coming through the camera right now. I have oven chips. These are McCain naked oven chips. So they're less harmful than normal ones. These are like 99% potato, 1% sunflower oil or something like that. And it just, that 1% seems to make them uber palatable. So I have half a kilo of these. I literally put 500 grams of potatoes on here. I'll stick them in the oven. And I'll also have, along with those, a packet of Fire Pit garlic and herb chicken kebabs. Yes, Josh Vision Fitness. Buy stuff ready made. Shoot me. 300 grams of chicken in there, so that takes me right up to where I want to be with 60-70 grams of protein again. These are going to take me to about 120 carb. I'm also going to have like half a litre of cranberry juice with this drink, with this meal, and I'm also going to have a little bit of extra as we go through it as well. So half a kilo going in. And then we are sitting down for the meal. I also like to add salt with every single meal. I usually the whole thing. No, the whole thing. Usually use some salt, if not all the salt. Right, we'll take two. I managed to blow the salt off, which is good. So this is the meal today. This is nearly 200 carbs. So we've got 150 carb, we've got 125 carb from the potato here, and then we've got 60 protein from the chicken. I've got another 30 carb in cranberry juice because I love cranberry juice. Now I actually forgot to pick up some salad from the shop that Amy messaged me, and I just forgot to do it. So instead I'm going to have another apple and also a nectarine for another 25 carb in each one. It's about 20 carb in each one. It's just for a little bit more micronutrition and a little bit of fiber, because it's the only fruit and vegetables we have got. I promise I have fruits and vegetables normally. Normally I like to add things like peppers in for vitamin C. I like to add things like tomatoes in there for vitamin C, antioxidants. So I generally have a very well-rounded diet. Appreciate both of these are like ready-made as such, but ultimately if I'm eating 4,200 calories with that idea to go up in calories, you got to do what's palatable, and I think that's something that's really, really important for bodybuilders to understand it. You've got to make the food palatable, you've got to make the food taste nice, so a little bit of salt and vinegar on the chips. You're going to be disgusted with how much vinegar I use. Watch this. Yeah. Maybe you won't be, maybe you're a vinegar fiend as well. Meal 2 is about 1,200 calories. We're getting it in right now. Let's go. Right then, we are in. We are in for meal number 3. Meal number 3. We have 130 grams of dry rice. We have 220 grams of chicken mixed with probably about 3/4 of a pepper maybe, with maybe about 100 grams of beetroot. What you didn't see is me drizzle some oil on the top of this rice. I put about 15 grams of oil on top because it's quite an easy way to get fats in. And for me to eat real clean foods that just, but like, I had this meal within an hour, I'm hungry again, just because whatever, it just digests extremely well for me, which is exactly what I have this meal. And then obviously we'll have the bolognese, which has been slow cooking there for however many hours now. That'll top off the calories probably with a little snack afterwards, but we'll see. There's also a lot of salt on this as well, so chin chin.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So we're here for the meal. This is the same meal. I realised I have a lot more food that I need to be eating, so now I need to catch up. So I've got a bagel here, and I'm going to be putting 30 grams of jam. I'm going to be putting 30 grams of jam on that bagel, on said bagel, and then I'm going to eat said bagel with 30 grams of jam. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably, well, maybe not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys who are going to put all this into a chronometer. We've got a lot of the bases covered now. I'd like to say that we are out of salad, and that's a big portion of where I get a lot of my roughage from. Not that I definitely don't eat tons of it. Definitely don't eat tons of it in an off season. I think when food's so high, you've got to prioritize those things that you can get in, and just things that are palatable. Granted, there's ways you can make it palatable. Granted, there's ways you can work it in. I try and just go for big bang for your buck type vegetables. Peppers are really good ones. Like I try and eat as much fruit as I can because I'm just not a big fruit person. People are gonna say try watermelon, try a grapefruit, things like that. I just don't like them, so I stick with like apples, oranges, occasionally bananas. I like, but I'm basic with fruit. I think that's another tip: make food as edible as possible, and don't be afraid to put some seasonings on it. If you can do the hardcore way, do the hardcore way. Kill it, you do you. But if you're someone who struggles with appetite, if you're someone who struggles with things like that, you've got to think about those flavors that your taste buds like, salty things, sweet things. So try and recreate them the same with as many single ingredient foods as you can. Here I am, not eating single ingredient foods, c'est la vie. But also, I think there's room for balance. And granted that 6 months out of my life is a perfect diet, like perfect. When my cholesterol gets to the point where it's like the most optimal it can be, I find myself psychologically, I just enjoy a good meal, and I don't think it's a big issue. And if it is, that's on me, not you. So don't worry, don't get worried, don't worry too much. You don't need to be in the comments shouting at me. It's fine. It's just the way I do it. Hi guys, I'm here the next day, and I'm going to wrap up this video with a final calorie count. 4,323 calories, 318 grams of protein, 575 grams of carbs, and 82 grams of fats. Now you'll notice that they're a little bit off from the things that I've set, the things that I set myself. Because I eat different things every single day. I try and have a different meal every single evening with my girlfriend. I try and increase the variety of food that I have. Obviously, I have more vegetables. But I'm never too worried about being 10 to 15 grams away from what I've been set, because it really encourages variety. It encourages me not to get bored. And I think as bodybuilders, eating chicken and rice for 4,500 calories gets pretty boring. So I do try and increase the variety. I obviously try and eat more vegetables. I'm not perfect. This is just the reality of what I eat. I will definitely do another full day of eating, maybe like once a month or something, and I'll probably increase it when I get onto prep, because what I eat, you'll see, will be very, very different in about 4 weeks time, because I like to change things up. I like to change my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and my snacks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back very, very soon. I hope you've been enjoying the content recently. Peace and love, everybody. Bye-bye.